Hi guys. Well, a couple of days passes, right? We received all new card for a Ulduar expansion miniset. Well, I will catch up with that. So the first one we got was a bunch of DeathKnight. The first one is this Sinister Soul Cage. If you're a minion +2/+2 and spend 5 corpses to summon a copy of it, in my opinion, it's pretty okay because you not only you buff your minion, but it's also get a copy of it too. So it's a unholy rune card. So you might see some of minion with a word stab or the wordy effects of. Right. Next one we have a sticky grime walker. After you summon an undead, if it poisonous, a 3 mana 2/4. It mentioned only summon, not play. So if you manage to a turn that you can summon a bunch of rush undead, it will be pretty easy to clear the board just to trade too. And the third one for the DeathKnight, a Rune of Darkness. Discover a weapon and spend 3 corp to give it 1/1/1. You won't know which weapon you gonna discover, but it can also act as a source of surprise. Sometimes it may help you, sometimes it may not. The effect is not quite strong because it is a blood rune. So as I said, if you discover this card instead and use it, it might good. But I'm not I'm not seeing it as a worthy one that you put into your deck unless there's a certain chance of weapon. Well, we'll see. Okay, and next one we have a Mage card. We have Meddlesome Servant, a 3 mana 3/4. Battle cry, you cast 5 or more spell, draw 2 cards. So, and for the mages, the in WoW, the mages in WoW might potentially use this thing as a draw engine because it's pretty cheap and draw 2 cards just for yourself and pack with ability. It's pretty solid. Next one is the Void Scriptures. 2 mana, Shadow Spell for Mage. Ah, that's pretty interesting. The Shadow Spell for Mage. You discovered a spell if you have enough mana to play it, cast a copy of it on the random enemy. This is somehow pretty strong. You would want to use this spell, the Void Scripture, on a late game where you can discover a big spell and potentially cast it. You might discover a free flame blast to clear the board. The fact that it only target a random enemy is pretty strong also. The third one we have a Tainted Ribbon. The battle cry we play in Elemental last turn deals 7 damage split between all enemy. 5 mana 7/4. The condition is just to play an Elemental last turn. There's plenty of Elemental here in the standard and wild, especially wild. The effect may a bit oversaturated, exaggerated, but 7 damage split among all between enemy is not quite good. Given the fact that they might have some board left or so, and it can split on the face, enemy face too. If your opponent have a no board or a few minion, it would certainly help. But right now it might not be. So on to the next one. We have a Paladin card. I want you to check a Clark review for this card. It's doing it pretty great. So I'll leave the link in the description. Alright, we have a Alarmed Security Bot, a 4 mana 4/3. A Mic with Director, draw another minion, set it attack and health to cost 5. This one, potentially on if it die on turn 4 or 5, you can immediately play the next minion that you draw on the next turn. Or on the same turn, depending on which turn it died. If you draw a small minion, it will punish you a little bit. Imagine if you draw a big minion. You can immediately play it with a menacing stats and quite cheap cost. Pretty great. On to the next one. We have Keeper's Strength, a 4 mana holy spell. If your friendly minion +2/+2 and deal its attack damage to all other minions. A new type of board clear for paladins. It will be a fine addition to its old combo of equality and city tax or consecration. Pretty strong in my opinion. And the next one will be a 3 mana 2/4 a forgeable minion, Muscle Trump. Battle Cry, give all minions in your hand +1/+1, and when you forge it, it will give +2/+2 instead. It will play a big role on a Mech Paladin or a Silver Hand or the small minion Paladin that I'm currently get a hand of. On turn 2, if you doesn't have any other things to play, can be quite useful. So you can spend your unspent mana on this one and preparing to drop a wide board of small cost big minion to surprise the opponent. Usually you can add this one in your mech deck too. Moving on, we have Priest Card. The first one is a Shadow Touch Cavalier, the 1 mana 1/3. Battle Cry, your next healing effect deal damage instead. So it's kind of like a mini Akinaeso Priest. Oh, I miss her though. And the Twilight Torrent, a 2 mana shadow spell. Choose a character. If it's friendly, restore 6 health. If your enemy, deal 3 damage. Well, this spell can give you some certain of flexibility when using it. Heal 6 and or deal 3 damage. But that's not all. We also have another priest minion. Yeah, a legendary priest minion, Soul Burner Warrior. A 3 mana 1/5 undead with the effects of after your friendly undead dies, deal 2 damage to a enemy hero, and you get a random Shadow Priest spell. I'm certain that means the spell on the Shadow Schools, which belong to the Priest Card. If that's so, it's quite nice. I played a bit of Undead Priest, pretty powerful. You can flood the board and you have a variety of shadow spell on your arsenal. And the barrier will be a fine addition to it. It will maybe make it come back from this Warlock meta or the Armor Warrior meta. That's not all though. We received a patch note yesterday when I was asleep. Sorry. And yeah, the patch note is included all the detail you on patch 20.4. Price, the number of new card, price for the golden version and the normal version. And yeah, you remember the showcase we received. We also get a review of the rest of the anomalies. So a Yogg Saron's anomaly that available when you put a Shogal on your deck. There's a 25% chance to anomaly to be triggered. Okay, before we check the anomaly, let's see this following. So even they have on the following weeks. So after the patch 20.4, the anomaly will appear in 100% of standard, while Twitch, Casual, and Arena, and Practice mode. I don't know why, but alright, that's neat. After that, they will appear in only 25% of the game until patch 28.0. If you and your opponent put a Shogal Twilight Chieftain in your deck, there's a chance that the anomaly on this game will be triggered twice, and you will receive 2 anomalies that active at the same time during your games. Let's check up all the anomalies. The anomalies will be both on the regular Hearthstone and the Battleground. Okay, so the anomalies on the I will focus on the anomaly on the regular Hearthstone. The first one, Twisted Reality. After a player plays a card this game, shuffle a copy into their deck. Yeah, your deck will not be as thin as you used to be. The next one, the Approaching Nightmare. Both players start with Yogg Saron Hope's End in their hand. The minion base deck will not usually take an advantage for this anomaly. The spell one, Pesky Druid and Priest will do. The next one, the Opportunity Knocked. The first card drawn on a player turn is the one they can afford to play. I bet this is similar to the brawl effects that you only draw a card that you can play on each turn. So yeah, it can be quite nice for your tempo or not, depending on which situation and your decks. Alright, the fourth one, the next one will be Shifting Fate. Both player hands start with a gear shift in their hand. The gear shift will be as this one. Alright, it's quite nice with when you might need to refill your hands a bit. Okay, so overall it's good. The next one, the Light in the Dark. Both players, hero power cost 1 less. Always welcome for most of the class, but it will be pretty OP for Demon Hunter because they can use it for free. The next one, the Gift of Gluttony. Both players start with 2 more drawn cards. It's all from judging from the statement, it's only applied to the first turn. Helpful in some sort, but if you are a late game deck and you do not want to draw much on the early game, it might pose a problem in your short term. Shifting Futures. Both players start with 2 copy of Shifter Ceres in hand. No, this one is trash. I always said it. This one is trash unless you get a extremely good luck with it, right? Okay, the next one is Control the Maker. Both heroes have 1 attack, plus 1 attack on their turn. It's a bit helpful. You could do a smack a small minion with your hero with a trade of small health. Next one is pretty solid. Seared Souls. Both players start with plus 5 health. A little bit of a Druid upgrade. A Surging Inspiration. Both heroes start with an upgraded hero power. Wow, I can't imagine how good it is. The next one is Driven to Greed. Whenever a player ends their turn with an unspent mana, they get a coin. Yeah, you can have kind of like an untapped mana for your next turn, and the next turn, and the next turn perhaps. The next one is Driven to Exist. Whenever a player ends their turn with an unspent mana, they draw a card. Well, it's a bit useful on when the late game that you doesn't have anything else to play and you wish to draw more. That's a good one. An Uncontrollable Growth. Both players start with an extra mana crystal. A bit tricky, but yeah, can be a big of a benefit and advantageous to Druid. So the next one is Seeing Double. Seeing Double. Both players start with 2 card copy from each from other player's hand. It will give you some, you get an insight on the player's hands and perhaps their opponent deck. Next one is Unimaginable Horrors. Both players discover a new basic hero power on their first turn. This one will be like a Serpently Murderton. Hear me out. For some classes that require their hero power, like warrior, like I don't know, warlock to draw, this may completely destroy their strategy. Alright, like a shadow priest that can replace the hero power. The next one is Fortification. At the end of each player's turn, give a random one of their minions plus 1 health. A small buff, indeed, but yeah, better than nothing. The next one is Fast Track. Reduce the cost of the all card in both player starting hand by 1. Yeah, a mini Thorizon that you receive on your first turn. Well, it's gonna be fun. The next one is a Your Eyes Betray You. This one does nothing, basically. Only both player cards are golden. Just an aesthetic result. The next one is Army of the Corrupted. The first minion play on each player turn costs 1 less. Some kind of spammy decks, wide board minion on a benefits. The combo or the control deck, you also have a chance to play the key card to change the turn around the game 1 turn early. And the last one is Spread the Corruption. The first spell on each player turn costs 1 less. Same go with a deck with a key. They have a key card on a spell. Overall, we will receive a the Great Yogg Escape event also, like any other expansion. We also have a new legendary skins heroes cartoon. It will be a Druid hero. Yeah, you can see all the tentacle and the menacing eyes there. And we also have a anomalies on. We will receive an anomalies on the battleground. So be sure to check it out if you're a battleground hero player. So Garrosh deserve better. Alright. I wish you gain some insight and some excitement like I do on this review so far. I'm missing some hundreds of gold to actually purchase the miniset. But I'm sure I can get it in the next or 2 weeks. Well, playing a bit late isn't better than never. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun playing a refresh spin and some refresh spin on Hearthstone. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.